This is Ashton Marcus, and I'm on location at Theater of Note for the world premiere of Phrazzled. Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Phineas Kiyomura. I'm a playwright and a television writer and sometimes an actor. I wrote a play called Phrazzled. It's going out at Theater of Note right now until the 21st of May.
So why did you decide to write this?
Well, you know, it's kind of about the television business, but sort of only loosely. I am a television writer and I was an assistant. It's sort of about those jobs, and it's also it's like kind of a weird exploration of, I guess, fate. I'm interested in fate and luck and merit, and that's what it's about to me.
There's a debate between fate and free will, right?
Right, sure.
That basically everything you do is basically on your own volition.
Right.
But also other people say that it's also circumstance. So you're a slave. You're just a slave of circumstances. Say they discovered love was a chemical cocktail.
Right.
And someone injected in your brain, you have no control. You would fall in love.
Yeah.
Is that true? Do you have control over who you love, or is it just your environment?
You know, I really don't know the answer to that. But I mean, that's what I'm wondering about. You know, in the play, I don't know. I think that it's pretty wild and chaotic out there, and I think that luck is a real thing. I don't think that you get control of it. But I think that it's I think it's a real thing in our lives, and I'm just sort of interested in the way that it sends some people one direction and some people another direction, and I think knowing that it's part of your life path is useful. You know, at least for me, I feel it is anyway.
I'm told the two things actually decide whether a play is good or not.
Okay.
One is the script, the other is casting.
Sure.
So as for the script, that's your responsibility.
Sure.
How do you handle something like that?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't handle it in any particular. I just try to do the best I can. You know, I just try to write things that are funny to me or sound interesting to me or that give me feelings. You know what I mean? That's what I write from. Not totally from a heady place. So that's all I can do, and just keep looking at it and being as rigorous as I can with myself, within reason, because you can also destroy it if you're not careful.
Do you feel you have kind of an agenda? I personally want to make sure that women are empowered.
Okay.
That's one of the reasons why I like going to theater. Okay. I want to make sure there's diversity. I want to make sure that people are educated, that they're smarter after they listen to my show. Do you feel the same responsibility when you write a screenplay?
I do. Well, you asked me, the funny thing is you said screenplay, and this is a play, right? So that's one of the things they talk about in the play. I think in a play it's a little bit more your responsibility, only because you are probably putting it up on your own dime, or you're part of that process. So then, when you have more power, you have more responsibility, right? The whole Spider-Man thing. With a screenplay, you're often being hired by somebody, and you have to give them what they need to the best of your ability without messing up what you want to do well in it. But really, it's somebody else's work. And I think of this though as my work, and in that case, I do feel a responsibility to push agendas forward, or at least to just be honest about the world. I guess I think that's really the biggest thing that I think any writer really has, is the responsibility to be honest.
If you had a choice between writing a script that just a lot of people would love to see, or writing a script that actually meant something philosophically, spiritually, I mean, which would you choose, or would you have to choose? I mean, which would you choose between success or your own personal fulfillment?
That's really tough. I think at this point I have chosen personal fulfillment, but I don't know. I mean, I got to tell you, it'd be nice to have a house. It'd be nice to have a big yard for my kid to play in. So that's a tough choice. I'm not sure that I can totally answer that one yet.
Okay. One last question. What's it like being a writer?
Well, I don't know. It's different for everybody, right? For television writing, which is what the play kind of talks about, you have a job. You go to a place and you work with people for however many months. You know what I mean? 20 weeks, longer, to get the work done. And you're in the room with those other people for 8, 10, 12 hours a day, and then you get sent a script and you work on your own. So it's interesting because television writing is much more collaborative, kind of like theater. Screenwriting you know, you go and you pitch, and then you get a job, and then you write in your underwear at home, and then you send it to somebody, and they say, don't come to set. So it's a little bit more lonely, which is not altogether bad. You know what I mean? There are certainly upsides to both. Being a playwright is a very collaborative thing once you get to the stage of staging things. But up to that point, it's not terribly different from screenwriting, except no one hires you usually. You just do it on your own.
Okay, well, I love the play because, again, I'm kind of familiar a bit with the industry. I actually enjoyed myself, and I think it did cover a lot of philosophy because, in a sense, I don't want to give away too much of play, but actually I enjoyed the philosophical topic.
I'm glad. I'm really glad to hear that. I hope it was a little funny, too.
Thank you once again for being on the show.
Thank you, sir.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Tony DiCarlo. I have been a member of Theater of Note about 3 years. It is my theater company home. Been an actor for quite a while, and I really love being in the show and being a part of this company. I play Fraz. Fraz is a embittered writer who wants to please his family and himself most of all, but cannot find a positive way to achieve his passion and kind of burns lots of things in his wake before realizing, what is it really all about? What are you burning to then achieve? Is that really the best way to go?
If my viewers decide to come to see this play, what should they expect to see?
Well, a lot of hard-working craftsmen in this entire production, the actors, the crew, who really want a tight, effective, it's sort of a concise, direct show. Something where it is told to you sort of firmly, straightforwardly. You make your own decisions about what exactly it's about, but we will drive this thematic process to you, and then you make your own decisions. I do not think you will be cheated as a viewer if you show up and see this. It is a tight piece of theater. I'm biased, of course, but I do believe so.
Well, I like the script a lot. I like the acting because, well, the script-wise, I enjoyed it because it was kind of a twist. It's kind of a bit of a mind game for you where it led you, so I really liked that. I enjoyed the acting, too. I thought there was a lot of layers in your acting.
Thank you very, very much. That is truly appreciated from all of us because that's what we're going for. Eventually you just go out and do it. You try not to think about it, you just do it and organically see what happens. Yet layering and seeing, because look, everybody's got their layers. You slice on everyone's onion, you've got different facets to everybody. So not everything in this play is what it seems. It's all what you make of it to a large degree. So I really appreciate you saying that. I believe that's what we really strive to do. Let you make the decision. We just serve it to you.
Yeah, actually comparing with the other Fraz, I thought your character was more gritty, more dark, more anti-hero, which I really like.
You hit it on the head. I sat there and I say to myself, well, this is the dark side. He's the dark force, he's the Vader, to some degree. Not entirely. I think we all have, everyone's got different aspects to themselves. Maybe not that on the surface evil and forceful in their disagreements with things, you know what I'm saying, like saying it to somebody's face. But we all have these layers, and absolutely, plainly a good Fraz and a bad Fraz in quotes. Not sure if that's entirely accurate, but that's a fair assessment, yeah.
Well, once again, I loved your performance. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Gina Garcia-Sharp. Well, I'm from Arizona. I've been in LA for over 20 years and have a 5-year-old son. And I enjoy frozen yogurt. I played Whisk, the really mean writer's assistant. Yeah, the showrunner's assistant. She is a perfectionist. She's a climber, and she wants nothing more in this world than to be a writer for TV. She just happens to be really, really offensively bad at it.
If my viewers decide to come see the show, what could they expect to see?
Oh, I think it's a new slant on the behind the scenes of making a TV show. I think we've seen a lot of things, but we haven't seen it from the view of TV writers' assistants. So you see all kind of the intrigue, the competition, the romance, the desperation, and it's funny and it's dark.
Yeah, I usually like seeing shows that have strong female characters. I'm kind of torn whether these are strong female characters or they're caricatures. What do you think?
Well, that's interesting because one aspect of it is kind of fantasy. It's a fictional world that one of the writers writes, so they are a little bit more heightened. But some of the other characters, I think, are more realistic. We have the romantic, the comedy romantic gal in Spur, who's just charming and real and genuine and lovely and so likable. I think we have Betty, who's usually the buddy is played by a guy, and in this instance, it's played by a gal, which is really refreshing. She's just bawdy and real. And then, of course, there's Whisk, who's, just terrible and a lot of fun to play.
Well, I always do like villains and anti-heroes, so I actually really did like your performance.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you once again for being on the show.
Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. I'm here with
Andrea Ruth. I'm an actress. I've been in LA for about 20 years, acting in 99-seat theaters all over the city and a little smattering of TV and film when it happens, but a lot more 99-seat theater, which I love.
And which character did you play?
I was Betty. Betty's very, very tough, very, very hard, very serious worker, but extremely funny, obnoxious, loud, vulgar person as well, and has no patience for anybody's bull, I'll say for radio. And I don't want to tell you what happens to her, but things become very hard for Betty, and she has to accept some very hard truths about the writing industry.
Yeah, I mean, from your experience, is something like this very realistic? Because I've seen some things like this happen before.
This is very realistic. I happen to have the privilege and benefit of being married to the playwright, and many things in it happened to him, or people he knows, or things happened about people we know that are similar. I mean, it's very hard to avoid, actually.
I was once told a story that, everyone says the bad things about that, overnight you can just fall from the pinnacle down to the bottom. But they also tell me that there's an opposite side. That also means some guy from the very bottom rose to the top really quickly. Because there's always kind of like this balance. Is that true?
I don't think so. I don't think anybody rises really quickly unless they are very closely related to somebody rich and famous. I think everybody who you think rose quickly actually toiled away for a very long time in obscurity and then suddenly became noticed, and everybody said it happened really quickly, but I think it's very rare that it happens really quickly because most people aren't ready when they first start. It takes years to get to the point where you're ready for it to happen to you, and then sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't.
Okay, well, I enjoyed the performance, but also I always ask this question about the women. Basically, I always like to hear plays in which the women are strong, very, great role models and all that. But what do you think about this? Do you think they were caricatures, or do you think they were actually strong women?
They're certainly all strong. They're not all admirable or anything. I don't know that I would say we were role models. My character is particularly admirable, but I don't know that I'd want anybody to follow in her footsteps. But most of the characters in this play are flawed, male or female. Everybody's quite flawed. So maybe don't look to us as your role models.
Well, I enjoyed myself. I love the play. So thank you very much for being on the show.
You're so welcome. Thank you.
Phrazzled will be playing at Theater of Note from April 15th to May 21st. For more information, go to www.theaterofnote.com.